Hello, Adam Bazalgette here, founder of Scratch Golf Academy. Today's subject, how to master the 50 to 60 yard pitch shot. Now for me, that's about a 2/3 shot. My full 58-degree shot goes roughly 95, so whatever your distance is, this is kind of a mid to 2/3 type shot. I think I've got some useful suggestions for you. Well, very briefly, if you're new to the channel, maybe you've watched the videos before but haven't subscribed, I'd really appreciate it if you do that now. Love to get you lots of free content. Also hit the little bell there, then you'll be notified every time a new video is coming your way. Thanks. Well, that's a decent shot there. Now listen, if you were given the choice, you could either be great at distance control on these shots or terrific with your direction. Take the distance control. That speaks to a golfer that can do two things: strike the ball solidly and consistently, and someone that has control over the club through the shot. And believe me, if you were great at distance control, you would have the skill sets to be pretty straight with your shots as well. Now, if you're going to control your distances, obviously you have to control your club head speed, but the big challenge is controlling your loft. That has to be stable, and we want less loft. We want to de-loft the club. Let's have a close-up look as why, and we'll get out, we'll look at a couple of tour pros, quickly look at their motion, and we'll tackle this thing. So there's my 58-degree club. I want to take the sweet spot of that club and tilt it up towards the back of the ball more. There is still plenty of loft to get this up in the air and spin it, but you'll get a more consistent sort of a contact. You get sloppy scooping it here, your contact will be all over the place. That doesn't help your distance control. Secondly, bear in mind the primary reason a 6-iron goes further than a 9-iron isn't just the length of shaft, it's primarily the loft difference. So if you're delivering inconsistent loft, you start hitting the ball under here, it's going to flutter up into the air one time, go lower and harder another time. You have to get that fairly consistent loft and tilt it onto the ball for solid contact. Charles Howell on the left, Rory McIlroy on the right. Let's have a look. That's great, leaning the shaft there at impact. Same for Rory. And when you do that, again, solid contact, strike, drive it out there. And you'll notice as the guys go through here, a very good sense of control. Chest and arms really moving together there, more so than a normal shot, where there would be more crack of the whip, so to speak, more release of the club. Again, look at Charles Howell there. Beautiful body and arm movement together. So great control. Body and arms helps control the speed. Great leaning of the shaft. A lot of control for those guys there. I have a free 3-part detailed video series on short game secrets. It's free for you if you go down in the description box and pick it up. Now, the great majority of golfers out there add loft too much, or at least they don't de-loft the club enough. The club, as we've said, is a little unstable down at the bottom, so we're going to look at it from that perspective. And as the saying goes, the only way to know when you've had enough of something is when you've had too much. So here's what we're going to do for a drill. Don't change the ball position drastically, roughly in the middle. Okay, we don't want to get this way and start savaging the ground like that. You won't like the results too much. Now, I'm going to hit a few shots without a lot of concern, if you like, for distance, but really trying to tilt the face forward, squeeze my hips underneath me. I'm going to try for a finish where my hips are tucked underneath me and I really feel the loft turn down. Do that before you hit a little bit. Turn the loft down, get a feel for it. So let's try it. Again, we're looking for too much at this point to get the right feel. Yeah, that ball drove out there nice and low. I don't necessarily, as I say, want to punch it and hit it that low in the ordinary run of things, but for the overwhelming majority of people, if they can get good at that, they will really help themselves. Then when they relax a little bit, get a little bit of release back, they'll be in the right neighborhood. Another thing you want to look for when you hit these shots, don't just look at where they're landing, look at the height they're going at. You not only want to hit it lower, probably, than what you're used to, several in a row the same height shows that you're mastering this. So let's try it again, trying for my low shot. Yeah, that was even maybe a hair lower than the one before. So I like the way that came off. You couldn't see it, but they're almost together, those shots. Get the consistent trajectory. Notice your finish, everything more together. Club not up so close to you, you're on the right track. So from this view, if you film yourself, you'll want to see a lot of your back as you go past impact there, and the club not flipping up into view so much. So let's have a try here. That's about the general idea. Brought that one in maybe a little on the low side. Lots of body, not all this jazz with the club is what you're looking for. And here's another word of advice. Get out there, find some open space somewhere, maybe way off to the side of the range, maybe out in a fairway late in the day when no one's playing. Benchmark a single yardage. Find out for you a comfortable place with your hands, somewhere in the intermediate range. Hit some shots to where you say, okay, the 6 out of 10 I hit pretty solidly are all fairly close. Pace it off, that's a benchmark yardage. If you have at least one benchmark yardage, say 50 yards for argument's sake, it helps you find those in between yardages a little bit more or a little bit less. Worth the effort. Okay, final tip for you. By the way, hit the thumbs up if you like the video. I'd appreciate that. It helps us build some momentum. But final tip, something else you're looking for when you hit these shots and some shorter shots, that is, you should feel like the club stops right when you stop. Now I'm going to give it a little bit more of a normal finish here, a little bit less blocked like that. We'll see if we can match that up. Yep, nice stoppage together, a good firm crisp stop. When you get up around the edge of the green, by the way, that would be one time if you have a reasonably good lie that I wouldn't be trying to de-loft it as much. I might let the bottom edge of the lower part of the bounce of the club slide off the turf a little more there. Another subject though, we're talking about pitching here. I hope this helps you. Again, if you'll work on these things, get it going off lower, get your strike solid, get your trajectory consistent, you will have mastered this shot.